don't care what you believe in, just leave God alone.
Right, you guys, there's a threat, there's an attack, we have to be prepared. And this is not one of those fake media generated attacks. This one's real. This is threat level bright red, ultra yellow nuclear, okay? This is for real. There's an attack on Christianity.
There is this attempt to suppress Christian viewpoints.
All right, now the mainstream media's hostility towards Christianity is no secret.
I look at all of these outlets to examine just how full-throated this attack on Christianity and Christian values really is.
If you have a religious, but particularly a Christian view, you're not welcome. It's a second-class citizen.
They mock Christianity, they condescend to it, and they actively attack the faith and values of the majority of this country.
If people speak out against and say this is God's standard on marriage and sexual morality,
30 seconds.
They're being silenced.
God is no longer trusted in America.
It might just disappear. I'm talking about Christianity.
And I don't care. You don't believe in God. You want to worship a broom. I could really care less.
O great one who sweeps the dust away, solve our problems while we pray. Great broom, please end world hunger. And also, we pray to you, great broom, please, please, make me rich. And also, continue to sweep away the dirt in our lives, in this world and the next. Oh, thank you, great broom. Oh, whoops, sorry, I didn't mean for you guys to see that. I was just worshiping my broom, which is what atheists do. They worship their broom. So yeah, Christianity apparently is under attack. Now, one would normally think that the overwhelming majority of a country, of a place, a location, wouldn't be the ones you would want to protect from persecution. Probably wouldn't be the ones you would want to stand up and fight for because they're being tread on. You would think, because generally, the largest group, the overwhelming majority, aren't the ones who get persecuted. Rather, the opposite way around. Now, the overwhelming majority sometimes does get rather pissed when the other side or the smaller group is allowed to have something to say, is allowed to voice their opinion, and especially if they're allowed to criticize the overwhelming majority. Doesn't sit well. It immediately becomes persecution. Now, it's funny because whenever the media brings on, and there's always exceptions, but I'm talking about in general, whenever the media brings on somebody to talk about the issue of Christianity or atheism or religion in general, people who are brought on specifically to be commentators on these types of issues, your Michelle Malkins, your Tucker Carlsons, your whoever liberal people that go on Keith Olbermann are, these people are famous for no other reason than being on the news. The only reason why we know about them is they're in the news. They are always on the news, asked for their opinions. You can exclude people like Christopher Hitchens when they like to bring him on, but he's an author. He has fame and notoriety outside of the fact that he goes on to television shows. So when we see media staples, and I mean to include the hosts of programs of the news, whether they're opinion-based or supposedly straight news, it's interesting to see their attitude when speaking about atheism or secularism, because they lump the two together as though there are no Christian secularists, when clearly there are. Many of the founders of our country were Christian secularists, or at the very least, deist secularists. But the media just lumps the two together. Atheism, secularism, liberals, same thing. Move on, next subject. It's interesting to note media staples' attitudes about atheism or secularism whenever they cover these stories. Or especially if there's a story where they feel like Christianity is under attack. I mean, it's not hard to figure out what their opinion is on the subject. In fact, it's pretty fucking transparent.
I don't care what you believe in, just leave God alone, please.
When a culture says, God, we don't want you,
right,
then what is so special then about human beings? Certainly Europe is much more secular than the United States, and all of a sudden you lose hope.
But did she make a mistake, Donna, by going to that fundraiser at the home of a woman who professes that there is no God?
You know, Wolf, there are a lot of believers. I'm one of them. And there are people who just don't believe in the existence of a God. I don't know why, because clearly there's strong evidence that there's a God. But I believe that you serve all the people, not just those who profess to have faith, but those with little or no faith. That's how you convert them.
Is it a problem, Bill, to associate with atheists?
There's a woman, people who are campaigning to get In God We Trust off the currency. You know, I mean, it would have been sensible for Kay Hagan or Kay Hagan's advisors to say, let's just pass on this one. Lord knows, God knows, only God knows why people have these fundraisers with folks like this.
Some people want to force their non-belief down our throats. I ain't forcing it down your throat. Don't force your non-belief. Are the children of atheists so fragile that the idea of prayer could actually warp their minds?
Now atheists need their 15 minutes of fame. I think making fun of them, too, and mockery is probably the second best solution. You treat these people like trolls.
I'm just so enraged by all these atheist displays and trying to push Jesus to the back seat.
All right. Okay. Hold it right there. All right, so imagine the opposite, the flip side of that last little news segment with Gretchen Carlson. You flip on the news, it's the morning time. You're going through the channels, and all of a sudden you come across Fox News or one of the other ones, and the host is saying something like this. And I'm sick and tired of all these churches and these crosses being displayed all over the place. I'm sick and tired of it, and pushing godlessness to the back of the bus. Pushing godlessness to the back of the bus. It's like when you see a normal park bench, everything's fine. There's an advertisement on the park bench or the bus stop, the bus bench you wait for the bus for. There's an advertisement on there. It says something like a Bible passage, or it says be good with God, or it says something that reminds you of God, okay? It's a normal bench. It's something that doesn't offend anybody. Then you see a bus stop bench with no sign on it at all. No sign, okay? That's an atheist bench. If it doesn't promote God, it's an atheist bench. I'm sick and tired of seeing this shit all over the place. The trees. You look at a tree. If there's no cross being scratched into the tree, it's an atheist tree. That tree is an evil fucking tree and it has to go! I mean, you'd be pretty goddamn amazed, wouldn't you? Because you wouldn't see it. It just wouldn't happen. Not in America. But it's funny because when you look at the people that are out there today trying to make up this fake assault on Christianity, one of the loudest voices whose sole purpose at this point, it seems, is to make that case, is a self-proclaimed atheist. S.E. Cupp. Or C. Cupp, I guess, is what she wants to be. I don't know what that's part of alludes to her bra size or what the deal is with that. But anyway, S.E. Cupp. And what's even more interesting is she makes the claim that, well, you can tell that obviously what she's saying is true, that there is a huge assault on Christianity because she doesn't have a dog in the fight. I mean, you can hear her saying it constantly.
But doesn't that make me the perfect candidate? I mean, how objective can I be about this when I don't have a dog in this fight?
And you might think there's some legitimacy to S.E.'s claim that she doesn't have a dog in this fight until you realize that her whole original premise is that it's the liberals that are attacking Christianity. It's the liberals that are godless. And then it's pretty easy to discover exactly where Miss Cupp's dog is in this fight. Let's watch S.E. destroy her own argument, shall we?
And you're an atheist.
I am. But doesn't that make me the perfect candidate? I mean, how objective can I be about this when I don't have a dog in this fight? It's about the liberal media's attack on Christianity. The liberal media's attack on Christianity.
Politically, are you conservative or?
I am, yeah. I don't have a dog in this fight.
And have you always been?
Yeah. I mean, I watch NASCAR, I shoot guns, the liberal media's attack on Christianity.
And have you always been?
Yeah.
Clearly, Miss Cupp is confused. So anyway, I think I've made my point, but I figure we may as well end the video by trashing a few random Christian, whiny, atheist-bashing news clips, because that sounds like fun, so let's hit it.
And if you say that rights do not come from God and they come from the state, they can be taken away.
Okay, dumbass, that makes a whole lot of sense. Our rights are divine, they're given to us by God, and they cannot be taken away. Try telling that to anyone who's in fucking prison, you idiot. But yes, I suppose you're right. If we couldn't take people's rights away, if that wasn't something that ever happened, then maybe they would be divine. But it does happen every single day, all across America.
We're going to resemble Europeans, who are essentially a pack of pagan losers, and I don't want to go in that direction.
Yes, did you hear that? Europeans are a bunch of pagan losers. Oh, wait a minute, why would I be saying that with a British accent? That must be because I am from Europe. So I myself am a pagan loser.
Then the atheist gets violent.
Ah! Die, Christianity! Die! Die!
I can't even dignify this entire segment with a response right now.
I want this to be like the rapture, and all that's left of them is their shoes.